Begin afresh every morning.
Devotional Thoughts for Women. Good morning, my beloved friends. Today, April 19th, 2023, our devotional is entitled Reasons to be Afraid. The scripture reading is taken from 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 5. When Saul saw the army of the Philistines, he was afraid and his heart trembled greatly. Why was Saul afraid if he had murdered hundreds or thousands of people? Because he had massacred the priests and he knew that the grace of God had abandoned him. He saw the Philistines' army and he understood that there were more of them and they were better armed. While Saul was pursuing David, he was careful of the borders, and the Philistines took advantage of the circumstances. Saul had learned that David and his force were with the Philistines, and he expected that the son of Jesse would take this opportunity to revenge the wrongs he had suffered. His guilty conscience filled him with fear and made him tremble like a dry leaf. We become so wrapped up in pursuing our goals, without making sure that what we are doing is God's will, and we neglect our loved ones. We leave the door open to the enemy, making it easier for him to attack those we were called to safeguard. While Satan had been urging Saul to employ every energy in hunting David that he might destroy him, the same malignant spirit had inspired the Philistines to seize their opportunity to work Saul's ruin and overthrow the people of God. How often is the same policy still employed by the archenemy? He moves upon some unconsecrated heart to kindle every envy and strife in the church, and then, taking advantage of the divided condition of God's people, he stirs up his agents to work their ruin. David didn't do the right thing either. He had lived among the Philistines for more than a year, and from there he had done his mischief, raiding different cities and making the Philistine king believe that the aggressions were coming from their opponents, the Israelites. Achish, the Philistine king, was happy that David and his men were in his land, and to make sure that they were always hated by Saul and his troops, he invited David to fight against his own people. David resorted to trickery, giving an evasive answer. See Samuel chapter 28, verse 2. The king took his words as an acceptance of fighting on the side of the Philistines. David would not lift his sword against his own nation, because he was the anointed future king. But he didn't want to disappoint the king who had helped him so much. This is the danger of making alliances with those who do not fear God. Little by little, we find ourselves involved with them, and we sacrifice our principles. If you have ever done this, ask for God's divine mercy.